What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I'm Mr. Straight Facts. Sorry we're on a little late tonight. Had some things going on, but I'm here now. I'll try and make this a little bit shorter of a show so we won't have to have anybody up so late. Save America Act. Let's get to it. This new Save America Act that they have, the House passed it. The Senate has not. I don't even know if they even addressed it yet, but there may be some issues in the Senate. But if you remember what we said to all of you, this being the 92% black women, the 78 or 80, whatever it is, those numbers ended up to be percent of black men who voted for Kamala Harris. They told you everything that Kamala Harris was saying. We were screaming to the top of the lungs that she's right. Not because we listened to her, because the same playbook that she was looking at, Project 2025, we were looking at it too. So we were sitting there reading it, combing through it, and trying to pay attention to what the hell is Russ Vogt and these billionaires and multimillionaires trying to do to the American people. Now, I want you to understand, whenever they want to take the rights from all of us, who do you think they fuck with to get you on the actual team? When I say you, I mean white people, good white people. When they want shit to change that's going to fuck up your life, they can't go after you. They go after what you may dislike or hate. And they run polls on trying to figure out what the fuck you hate. They're out there paying attention to what you're doing and what you're saying and having these little, studies and shit, having you come in and answer questions. This is how much they care about staying in power. They literally pay people money to come and answer questions that are focused on what you like, what you hate, what bothers you, what's going on economically, why do you feel like you're not getting ahead. And if you so much as put immigrants or people of color, they got you. They know how to control you. And so it may not be you because they can't get to the multi-millions of white people, but they get to your archetype. They're like, oh, this is the way you believe. Stereotypically, this is the way you believe. And they go after people of color. They go after trans people. They go after gay people because not all, but white people put themselves as the center of attention. Like, people care about what you give a fuck about more than anybody else. And so when they go after issues, they can't go after you. They can't say that they want white women not to vote anymore because you're fucking it up for white men's power. They can't say that. They have to go after things that piss you off so they can fuck up your life. What piss you off? Oh, immigrants getting a job that I can't get. Okay, let's go after immigrants. But as we're going after immigrants, we get these people, white women, riled up. And then we're going to take rights away from them because there's more of them than us. They're not going to overpower us. Women are going to overpower us, white men. So we really got to keep them down too. And you fall for, what they say in the movie? Banana in the tailpipe. You go after the immigrant. You go after the person of color. You go after, the trans person in sports. You go after this and that. But the whole goal is that the majority of people in this country are white men and white women. Their problem was with you, white women. Their problem is with you. Because there's more of you. You can literally take over power over them. You're not free from this. They want you just as down as the rest of them. And if you're poor, you basically black. Don't listen, but pay attention to what the Save Act does. This Save Act, and this is what critics say it will do. They're going, first of all, let's just go back beforehand so that I can prove the point. When Latin people, we told y'all they won't come after y'all. Not criminals, just brown people, light-skinned brown people. They was coming after you. We told y'all. We knew it. It's not like we were listening to Jesus speak. No, we didn't have a direct line to God on it. We study patterns. See, America, black people have had to study this country. We've had to watch you. We're the visuals. You know what I'm saying? We this visionary. We can see the future because we can't just escape the past. We have to live in it. Our ancestors still are in us. We're watching this country up close and personal, microscopically. Everybody else is living life willy-nilly because you don't have all this racism and disrespect coming your way just because of your skin. So you got to watch every person and see how they act and interact with you before you can trust them or walk. You tread in water. Other people just walk in and be all happy because you don't know this country through the lens that we do. And we don't, just like elephants, we don't forget. See, forgetting is dying. If we forget how deadly some white people can be, we won't be safe ever. We always got y'all clocked out. Why? Because we don't know how you're going to act in a situation. And we can't let our guard down because that's the end of our life. We can't trust that, you may be great. Your friend may be a killer of black people, but around you, they awesome. But around black people, you don't know how they act because you're not black. That's why black people always got their guard up. That's why we say, stay woke. Because you don't know what your friend might do around strange white people. You be like, oh, he's the homie. And then get around strange white people and be like, wait a minute, how you acting this way? We was cool, but in a different clique, you ain't cool. And we got to monitor that and judge accordingly because our life depends on it. I don't know if you heard of this story. This is a true story. In a state that I used to live in, but in the country part of the state I used to live in, Indiana. Black kid, white friends, chilling. They go out into the woods somewhere and do something. Turns out they're on somebody's property. White people come, racist as fuck, telling them to get off the property. White people bouncing, black guy bouncing too. But they decide to have fun with the black guy. Where does white friends go? For the most part, I think it was one white girl that kind of stuck around for a hot second. But the rest of them bounced, knowing that catching the black guy and he's already racist, they ain't coming after you, white people. They're trying to get the black dude. Instead of them protecting him, they let these white men damn near kill him. Where were they? They were the homie beforehand. This is the type of shit we got to keep our eyes open for. The reason why we know is because we see it. We witness it. We understand it. And we have to watch ourselves around all. And it's not just white people. You think I could trust myself around Candace Owens and a bunch of white people? Fuck no. She'll be the first one to be like, oh yeah, you got to get him. And watch it. I have no doubt that she would sit there and watch a hanging of another black person with her white friends. I have no doubt. As long as they don't fuck with her, she'll be like, oh yeah, go ahead. All right, you should have been like me. Should have been coon-tastic. I have no doubt that would happen. I don't think she would save any black person if she was in that situation. She would cling to the white person like she does now. Do you believe she would? Why would she? When black issues happen now, she's the first one. When George Floyd was murdered, this heifer was straight on the line. What has he done in his past? Not the officer who killed somebody, the black guy who got killed. What has he done? He kicked a woman who was pregnant. She did research that I didn't even see white people find. And I was like, where did this shit come from? You couldn't even validate it. It was just something that she put out. And it was like, where did you get it from? Can you give me a source? It was just her words against the dead man's. She never looked up the guy who killed him. He had done the same thing to George Floyd to a 14-year-old. The 14-year-old survived. The thing he did to George Floyd was illegal. It wasn't something he was supposed to be doing. He did it to a child, a black child. You didn't hear it come out of her mouth. Right? Still ain't heard it. So yeah, she would do the same thing. The reason why I'm saying this is that black people don't tell you shit because they just want you to hate or disrespect something. They're protectors. Not all of us, but if we're honest, most of us. Because if we protect you, we're protecting ourselves. So when we say woke, we want you to stay alive. Pay attention. Listen to how somebody's talking around you. Don't take your guard off of them. Don't let them be behind you. If you don't necessarily trust them 100%, and even if you do trust them, always keep a little antenna up. Listen to your instincts. Listen to that one friend that just wants to say the N-word, and that's just their love. Can I say it? Can I say it? Listen to that. Even though they may be kind of cool, they wanting to say it tells you something about their character. Pay attention. Don't go nowhere in the South with that white friend, because it ain't going to be good. Just simple shit to pay attention to. Stay woke. That's what we mean. And so when we say it to our Latin brothers and sisters, when we said it and said, look, the way they're talking about you, they have dehumanized you. They're calling you rapists and killers, and some of you might be good. Might is strong in this sentence. Might is saying, no, you're not. But if we gave a test, maybe one or two of you. Might is strong in that sentence. And if you are trying to be in white proximity, racist white proximity, you might just let that slide. But black people don't. Because we have been cool and we have been burned. And we don't sit there. After you tell me the stove is hot, bitch, I ain't put my hand back on that stove unless I got a glove on or some shit. I ain't putting it back there. I'm not stupid. We got a lot of stupid people. Stupidly trusting people out here. Listen to your surroundings before you go somewhere. Don't go off in the dark. Parents don't told you this shit without something. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go in the woods, have a weapon. Don't go in the woods just all I got is a stick. That ain't gonna be good. In this situation, we told Latin people. We even explained it to them. How can I determine if you are a criminal Latin person or a law-abiding Latin person or an immigrant Latin person? How can I determine that? They didn't listen because they don't think these people who were like all in the Trump world and all in this, sellout shit for their own culture, they didn't think like, how would they be able to determine if I'm a criminal? I mean, because the first time you see a woman or a woman or a man you like, you don't know what kind of person they are. You just see them. Oh, she's beautiful. Whether she's whatever race, she's beautiful. What you see, that's how you know. I had to get to know you to find out if you're a criminal or you batshit crazy or you're just a wonderful human being. That's step number 2 or 3. Step number 1 is I see Drew. I see that guy over there. He's black, gray, salt beard, bald head dude. That's what I see. You don't know if I got a criminal record till you go to step 2, 3, or 4. Right? So I asked and I posed this like 2 years ago, over 2 years ago. How are they going to determine whether you're a good Latin or you one of the ones they want to take out? How are you going to determine that? They know they'll do it. I asked you how they're going to determine that. And they did not listen. And they voted for this prick. And he's been fucking with their lives. Many of them hiding at home and shit. They even got some of them hiding at their crib, pregnant, not going to see the doctor because they're scared they're going to get snatched up. And they American fucking citizens. We told your ass. Stop thinking that these people have your back when it's the ones who have always had to run and hide that know what the fuck to do. You're going to put yourself in harm's way just so you want to get close to proximity to racist white people. That's crazy to me. And then say, I'm one of the good ones. Really? Then why'd your ass end up getting snatched up? Because some of these people who are on these social media accounts that I've seen, their accounts are gone. Some of them self-deported. And I hope none of them are dead, but there are probably some of them that are gone that way too. They hired racist people to hunt you down. We told you the police force was created, if you know history, to catch slaves. Do you understand that in the police force, at least in LA, they stopped saying that their job is to protect and serve? They took it off all their cars. That's too hard. We can't protect and serve. We don't want to do that. Union made it so that they don't have to say protect and serve. I'm like, what's your fucking job then? If it ain't protect and serve, that's too hard. We just can't be the protecting and serving you. Then what is your job? Give me the description. Find out from your own police force. Have they taken off protect and serve? I mean, what the hell are you supposed to do? See, they got in trouble for not protecting and serving children when they had gunmen there. They got in trouble in lawsuits because they weren't protecting citizens when they should have went in to take the bullet for the baby. They decided to say, fuck that baby, started getting lawsuits, and then they took the protect and serve off so you can't sue them for protecting and serving. That's not my job. What the fuck I'm paying you for? Security? They got security places driving all around. I don't need a police force if your job ain't to protect and serve. You getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars and you no longer have to protect and fucking serve? That's ridiculous. So this situation that we tried to tell Latin people was going to happen to them, and we told you they're going to snatch your ass up and do some stuff. We didn't know they're going to send you to prisons in a different fucking country. But we did remember, because we ain't crazy, that the last time Donald Trump was president, what'd he do? He put y'all in cages like you were animals in a kennel. They wouldn't even treat a dog the way they treated these Latin people. Over 1,500 at the end. There was many more than that. It was thousands of babies separated from their parents and then shipped them to different states, not realizing at the time that Donald Trump was a fucking pedophile. These kids never came back. 1,500 of them to this day are still not with their mom and dad. I have no doubt that some of them are in that motherfucking sex trade. I have no doubt. How the hell you get rid of somebody's baby and tell me you didn't tag the baby to its parent? You obviously did that on purpose. You weren't planning on returning that child back to their parent. You was planning on probably selling that baby into something, whether it be a slave trade or sex trade. That child is not having a great time in some foster home right now. And it's crazy how this country hasn't forced these fuckers to find these babies. We done moved on. They done took Latin people, threw them in jail in a country they had never been in, most of them. From Venezuela, part of some Venezuelan gang, send them to a different Latin country. El Salvador. One of the worst prisons. And hadn't proved they had done one thing illegal. They were just Venezuelan. And not all of them were Venezuelan. They were Latin. Have them tell it, they got beat on the daily. And what was their crime? Being a possible immigrant, worst of the worst. Being determined that they were criminals by a tattoo. When Americans find out 4 months or so while they're in prison because of 60 Minutes doing an investigation, finding out that 75% of these people had never committed a crime in their life, so they can't be the worst of the worst. And only like 5 or so, or is it 5 or 15, had actually committed a crime that would be put under this particular thing that they said. Out of the hundreds they took. And couldn't prove none of them were in Tren de Aragua. Their determination, their words, was partly by tattoo. We find out through 60 Minutes, doing an investigation on said gang. These are the gang members. Why the fuck they don't have tattoos? Because we don't have them, bitch. We don't get determined by gang tattoos. That's for y'all po gang motherfuckers. We straight gang gang. Y'all poor like, oh, look where I am. You trying to belong somewhere. We do business. I don't trust the gang, don't get me wrong. But they told them, this is not what we do. That's that type of people. That ain't us. And Americans got people in jail. We don't spend $4 million to a country that's fucking corrupt to take innocent Latin people and call them the worst of the fucking worst. They got Americans, who racist anyway, to agree on that shit because they dehumanized them and thought that Latin people deserved it. Not the worst of the worst. Because due process was not given, and many Americans had no fucks to give. Now, the reason I give you this information is because they were told and they didn't listen. They did not heed the call. And that's what happened to them. And you got a lot of the Venezuelans. I had to go toe to toe with one Venezuelan dude that is in a car talking shit. I had to let him know. And I haven't seen his ass anymore either. But I had to let him know. I'm like, yo, bro, you act like you don't need us, then that's fine. This is before they voted for him and nothing had happened. It was like the beginning of this whole thing. He said, we don't need y'all help. We good. We're Venezuelan. We're like he was like bragging about being the lighter skinned fucking like close to white Latin. They ain't gonna fuck with us. And we got other Latin people who help us. And we got this. I'm like, dude, ain't none of them coming to help you. They gonna cling to that white dude and look at you like, better you than me. Because you're already doing it to darker skinned Latin people. I mean, it was just insane. But the reason why I'm saying this is that I want my white sisters to understand. They're coming after you. And the way they're going about it, and black women as well, but you know they're coming after us. But I'm just letting you know, my white sisters, they're coming after you. Why? Because this SAVE Act, I said this because I read 2025, and I mentioned in the video back in the day, Project 2025, they want to get rid of women's suffrage. Women's suffrage was what women went through to get the 19th Amendment passed, doing everything they could, whether it be, burning brawls. Well, I think it was in the 60s, but still, they did everything they could back in those days. There's pictures all over the place. You can go look at it to get it passed, right? And I understand that it is a law that needs, 34 or 38, I believe, something like that, states to ratify, not to ratify, but to overturn and all that. I get it. But here's the point, though. Get people focused on one thing, like they got people focused on bad Latins, and then steal something from everybody else. Fuck with Latin people and steal something from everybody else. In this situation, they're fucking with immigrants again. Oh, they're just voting, and immigrants should not be able to vote. You can go look it up. Immigrants can't vote. Oh, we got so much fraud in our voting. We really don't. Our 2020 election was like the most safest election we've had in American history. And that came from Donald Trump's people who were in office at the time, who were a part of the like internet aspect of it, because of the technology that was behind it. They said it was the safest election that we've ever had in American history because that technology was in place. Donald Trump, fraud because I lost, fraud because I lost. And they've been on this fraud tip trying to change laws, not because there's fraud, it's because they want to continue to win. They're trying to implement fraud into it instead of extract it. Their goal is to project, tell you it's fraud happening, let me in so I can actually commit fraud and call it fair. Same thing with Donald Trump's presidency. There wasn't any fraud that they were talking about that, the FBI, the DOJ, just because they were going after Donald Trump. Oh, there's fraud and they're coming after me, blah, blah, blah. You broke laws. It was proven in one court. They let you be president before it was proven. I'm sure it would have been proven every other thing that you did. But, oh, they're coming after me. There's so much fraud. There's no fraud. Trump comes in, throws in all these sycophants, and adds so much fraud, it's ridiculous. Billions of dollars this man done made off American citizens. Did you find out today that 95% of the tariffs are paid by American fucking citizens? That's the estimate that the CBO determined today. These tariffs that Donald Trump's talking about, oh, we got trillions and trillions of dollars and billions of dollars from the tariffs. That's you and I's money. From all this steak and food and all this shit that they bring to this country, the electronics that we've been paying more and more for, all that money he's talking about ain't nothing but taxes that we paid. 95%. Oh, these businesses are going to eat it. You're not going to have to pay for it. The fuck if we didn't. 95% of it is on us. I don't know how many times people got to sit here and hear this man and others lie before they realize you're a piece of shit and we're going to stop listening to you. But 95% of these tariffs we've had to pay. These businesses have, all in all, eaten 5%. Or convince the people they buy from to sell it to them 5% less and add it onto their own profit. I don't know. That sounds more like America than eating anything other than American citizens paying for it. But I digress. Just wanted you to know that. So when you get into this, you'll start to understand that we've been suckered. And what I'm trying to get to my white sisters to say, look, they're trying, and you may not be the one that they're focusing on. They're focusing on these ones who feel slighted, who can't stand other races, like Megyn Kelly. Those types of people, that's what they're going after. And what they're saying to them is these immigrants are voting. And we got to have the Save America Act, which it just passed the House and hasn't got to the Senate to pass yet, anything like that. Probably going to have trouble in it. But the people who are going to be affected by this Save Act will be millions of legitimate voters will not have access to vote. Why? Because it's going to be elderly citizens who aren't going to be able to get out or find the documents in which they're asking them to find. Oh, you got to find your birth certificate. And if you have a birth certificate, you're good. But if you don't, I don't know what to tell you. You just can't vote. Oh, okay. Rural residents. Oh, yeah. People in rural residents is going to have a hard time as well in their process. Low-income Americans. Again, they make people think the low-income Americans are the minorities in this country. The majority of poor people in this country are white. But when they say low income, black pops into your head for most people. So they get white women to vote against their own best interests. Even if you're not poor as a white person, you're still a white woman. And if it affects a poor white woman, it's going to affect a poor, middle-class, wealthy white woman. The point is to get to the lowest denominator, fuck with them, and let it rise. Just like when they fuck with black people, it ends up fucking up white people's lives too. Naturalized citizens, you're going to have a problem. But the biggest one, that's going to have a problem in this, and this goes across every class of white person, is if you're married. See, they didn't take that part out. And this is the one I told people about through Project 2025, and I watched that Turning Point USA where they were, they were just saying some of the most egregious things. You would not believe some of the shit these men were saying to a group of women and men. And women, I'm like, you guys are brainwashed, saying stuff like women basically aren't worthy enough or smart enough to vote. I was appalled by this shit. But they were clapping. Those are the women that's gonna fuck it up for the rest of the women. But the married women, your birth certificate and your last name are not the same. They're going to fuck with the fact that your birth certificate is not the same. And you won't be able to vote. Some of you will not, some of you will be on it. But it's not the point of getting all of you not being able to vote. It's about making it so hard that you decide to sit your ass at home. And if that doesn't work and it doesn't turn out well, oh, you can best believe they're going to try and get 38 states to overturn the 19th Amendment. But this is their first try. Russ Vogt, what's his name? Stephen Miller, Donald Trump, they're all trying to fuck with women's lives. They're trying to fuck with the vote. And of course, they're fucking with people of color's vote. But that's what they're trying to go after. Oh, these immigrants are voting. You got to get this thing into play so that we can have legitimate votes. That's not what they're trying to do. That is the ruse. Legitimate votes. Immigrants can't vote. They aren't voting already. It's illegal. But they keep saying it, even though you can sit there and say it's illegal, they can't vote. It's illegal, they can vote. They turn around and say, well, it's got to be fair, free and fair because of illegals. They don't listen. They literally keep repeating the same thing so that their minions are like robots. They must not be able to vote. It's like they can't. They must not. So they continue down that path. But if they keep going down that path, they're trying their best to get it so that if you're married, you can't vote. Your husband is the only one that can vote in your household. They said this at Turning Point USA conferences when Charlie Kirk was alive. President Trump appeared at these things. A lot of politicians appeared at these things and agreed and clapped for these things. It's not easy to overturn an amendment, but keep your eye out, just like we told the Latin people. Keep your eye out for what they're trying to do to you, because they're trying to take the women's vote so that white men can have the power. They already took. They said, "Oh, it won't be that they can take your, the Roe versus Wade. They're gonna be able to take that." They took it, didn't they? Yep, took it. So quit pretending like they can't take shit. They can. They already did it. You have more rights. Your kids, you have more rights than your kids or grandkids. Women. You had more rights in your lifetime. It's supposed to go the opposite way. Women are supposed to get more rights, and humans are supposed to get more rights as they get older, not fewer. They took that away. They want to take away your right to vote. And they also want to take away your right to love whom you want to love. They're trying to go after the loving case as well. Don't hear me. Go do your own research. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Go do your own research. They're trying to get rid of the loving case. And it's Clarence Thomas that told them to revisit that. And this man was married to a white woman his whole fucking life. Well, not his whole life. He was a black woman first, then got with a white woman. But still, in the middle of that, he molested Anita Hill. But go look it up. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. So pay attention to what they're trying to do. Call your senators and tell them to fuck off on this thing, the Save America Act. Get rid of it. No. It's a no. Hell no. We won't go. Because if you don't, just like you lost your rights to your own freaking vagina, own organs, and these bastards says, your body, my choice. I don't know where these dudes got so much hate from. Without a woman, they couldn't even be born. And they got so much hate for the person who produces the child. I don't know. But I'm telling you to heed it. You can listen or not. It's your world. But they're coming after you, and they're going to sucker punch you by telling you it's about Latin people, it's about immigrants not voting. Go do your homework and realize it's against the law for immigrants to vote. Also, go do your homework and realize that the majority of fraud in the elections come from Republicans. It isn't a lot, but it comes on the Republican side, majority. And they'll sit there and call liberal this, liberal that. It's them. 1,000%. It's them. And all the ones I've seen were older white dudes voting for their mother, voting for, dead aunt, uncle, father, and pointing over there. Look, it's liberals. Not unless liberal means Republican in their language. I don't know, but go look them up. And I'm not saying that there hasn't been any liberals or Democrats that's tried it. I'm saying a majority of them are coming from that side. But none of it is enough to mess with any particular election that we found. Now, if there's some other stuff that I don't know about, you tell me. But I haven't found anything that had anything that way. People say there was some stuff that went on with this last election. I don't know. I haven't delved into it. I just heard it. But pay attention to that, ladies, especially white women. Pay attention to it. They're trying to take it away, and they're trying to sucker you to look at other people. Senator Kelly today. Some of the craziest shit, and I'm serious. It's like insane with these people. They with Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump, they lost. A judge said, basically he had some scathing things to say. I'm gonna play a video. But this judge was appointed, I believe, by Bush. I think by Bush. We're gonna check it out here in a second. But he let into him because, again, they're trying to take this man's First Amendment right. Mark Kelly can say what he wants. It ain't a situation where, it's seditious unless it's something, the definition you'll see in a minute. But it's nowhere near seditious. He's literally saying, follow the law. And if there's an unlawful order, you must not follow it because it's going to be your ass. If you don't know the law, it's going to be your ass, no matter what. Like these people who blew up in this boat, these military men and women who were all in on blowing up those two men that were sitting on the side of the boat and they did not cause any threat. Once they go through that, those men and women who pulled the trigger, they're all liable. You know who isn't? More than likely, Donald Trump isn't, and Pete Hegseth may be protected. But the military men and women aren't. Y'all serving time. Don't follow any laws that are unlawful. Don't follow any orders that are unlawful. And that's all they asked for. And they tried to sue them. Well, they tried to put them in jail. And then after that, they couldn't get that. They indicted them after that. Well, they tried to indict him. And the grand jury said, fuck no, we won't go. But we're going to listen to this. If it's here, let's see. Oh, yeah, this interview. It was an interview. It was on like a news segment. I think it was local news or MSN or NBC or something or some sort. Let's play it.
Tonight, Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona is praising a federal judge's scathing ruling that has temporarily blocked the Trump administration from punishing him.
This was a moment to hold these guys accountable. And this judge, had the right decision.
Kelly, a retired Navy captain, was among 6 Democrats, all of whom had previously served in the military or the intelligence community, who'd posted this video in November.
You can refuse illegal orders.
Days later, President Trump accused the lawmakers of sedition, punishable by death. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth later said the Pentagon was taking steps to downgrade Kelly's military retirement rank and pay. After Kelly sued, Judge Richard Leon, who was appointed by President George W. Bush, is now issuing a preliminary injunction, writing the Trump administration has trampled on Senator Kelly's First Amendment freedoms and threatened the constitutional liberties of millions of military retirees. Calling the administration's arguments horse feathers and anemic, the judge adding that Secretary Hegseth should more fully appreciate why the Founding Fathers made free speech the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights.
This isn't about me. This is about an administration that is out of control on so many different levels.
Hegseth responding on social media late today. This will be immediately appealed. Sedition is sedition, Captain. The Trump administration had also tried to bring criminal charges, but 3 sources familiar with the matter tell NBC News that a grand jury refused to indict the lawmakers this week.
We knew about that from yesterday. They refused to indict him. But he said it was anemic and it's just horse feathers that got me. He said horse feathers. It sounded like a medieval, like 17th century cuss word. That's horse feathers. But it had me rolling when he said this shit. I was like, they can't cuss, man. But horse feathers had some meaning to it. It had a little sting to it. You know, he thought he had did something good with that word. But anyway, so they didn't charge, and this guy literally said this is basically bullshit. And he's like, we're going to appeal bullshit. Spend more money of the tax dollar. Spend more of the tax dollars of American citizens on some bullshit just because you're in your feelings. All I got to say about this thing is, Americans, we got some work to do. And what I mean by that is that we have got to call and hound the hell out of our representatives and say, no more of this shit. You see what they're doing? When they get out of office, make them pay. And don't do what they're doing. Follow the fucking law. I ain't talking about go after them because they were assholes. Go after the ones that have broken laws and let Democrats and independents who want to try this shit again know your ass is going to jail. You cannot, Democrats, let these people get away with it. And whomever you put in the DOJ, make sure they're independent, meaning the president. Keep your ass up out of it. And let the law do what the law does. But the head of the next DOJ, you got some fucking work to do. Hit the ground running. None of this fucking sitting down chilling. Hit the ground running. None of this 17 years to charge somebody for shit. You're going to have evidence the day you walk in. In fact, some of y'all should be collecting evidence right the fuck now. So when you do, if you plan on running for that job, you already got enough information that you can go validate once you get in the office and go straight to your job. Because I, for one, as an American, am tired of the bullshit. I don't want to hear no more bullshit from Republicans. I don't want to hear no more bullshit from Democrats or independents for that matter. I'm sick of you fucking arguing over stupid shit. I want you guys to figure out shit that works for the American people. Listen to your fucking constituents. Tell them there's 1 or 2 things that you can get for them. Don't promise them the fucking pie in the sky because you're not going to be able to give it. Work on 1 or 2 or maybe 3 things every time you go speak to them, and then you actually go and work on those fucking things. And bring back information that you either couldn't do it or you could do it. Collect more things they need that you could possibly work on that you couldn't get past, and then go back and work. You guys need to visit your constituents on a regular fucking basis to know where they stand. Because how in the hell are you working for them? When you come back, it seems like most of y'all don't know what the fuck your constituents want. You come back and they're pissed off at you. So obviously you're not doing your job. But it appears to me, especially in the Republican Party, when y'all come back and listen to your constituents, you keep telling your constituents they don't know what the fuck they want. It's like, wait a minute. They're the ones who brought you to office. They brought you to the dance. They know what they want. It appears that you got into office just telling them what you're going to give them, and then once you get there, giving them the finger. And if that's not what you're doing, that's what it looks like you're doing. So you might want to get in touch with the people who got you there. I'm just saying. And I myself need to attend some of these meetings in my own district. Because how would they know what we need if they never hear from us? Just saying. So it's a two-way street on that. We need to tell them exactly what we want. Not, you can call them as well, but when you get a chance to see them in person, get out there if you can, if you're willing and able. Some of us don't walk as well, in wheelchairs, whatever. understand that. You can make a phone call. But if you're able-bodied, I ain't tell you to do it every week. I'm just telling you to do it eventually to get your voice heard. Make sure that you get what you want in your community, or at least treat your community with respect. Like Minnesota, people coming out. They came out in the droves. And in Minnesota, Tom Holman says he's leaving. We'll see. We'll see. That's the next thing I'm going to show you is that Tom Holman, and we're going to let him speak for a second.
Proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude. There will be some security teams staying here, the QRFs, until we're assured that those agitators' incidents either stay low or further decline. I'm not going to remove everybody out of the safety of our officers, but like I said, and Operation Metro Surge is ending.
All right. So he says it's ending. They said something like this before when they had the little tyrant wearing the Hitler long coat that they got rid of. But, or at least moved him somewhere else. Tom Holman, I've said this before. This putz, when you saw him out in what I consider the field, meaning out hanging out with these people, trying to be their leader with these ICE people, he was dressed in fatigues, even though he can't probably run 3 feet without passing out. But he was dressed in fatigues and had all this, like, we're going to get you and we're going to harm you and you look out. He had so much rhetoric and anger. You could tell he doesn't dislike immigrants or Latin people or people of color. He hates them. And then they take the dude that had so much hate and venom. Go look at his old videos. He'd be in a hangar or some shit like that doing an interview, and he would just be so much venom. We're coming to get you. We're going to get you. I'm like, what's all that bravado bullshit about? It's like, you're going to get the criminals. That's what your job is. Why's all this anger? And but that's what it was. And then he puts him in this position, and then he switches up. I think that we should be. He don't even look right in a suit. That's odd for him. He wants to be this wild card. That's where he thrives, with this white nationalist bullshit, extra testosterone crap. And now he's got to be neutered sitting here. You could tell he's uncomfortable sitting here in a little suit. Tom Ball, I talked to him and we're going to end it. And although I'm going to leave some people there, and then my people won't be safe. So you staying is what you're saying. Because leaving some people there is not the same as going. You know what I'm saying? They saw that it was politically suicide to stay there. Not because people are going to unalive them. It's that every day, thousands of people were coming out and basically saying F ICE. Celebrities was coming out and saying it. ICE Out came from the major singer, Bad Bunny. All these different people coming out, left and right, just tired of them. Some of their, MAGA bros didn't like ICE, right? And have been public about it, like the way they're going about it. Some of these podcast people, Joe Rogan, thought you was getting the criminals. And you're out here getting everybody. We didn't want you to get the maids and the cooks and people working on their job. So it's political suicide for them right now. So that's why they're saying, we're going to stop. But they ain't going to do nothing but move it to another state. And whatever state they try to come to next, I didn't want to have to use Minnesota, as an adjective, but y'all going to have to Minnesota them. You're going to have to do the same shit to get them out. So as soon as they say they want to come, y'all pack y'all bags and go outside and do your thing. Because that's the only way you're going to get rid of them. Only way. Otherwise, they're going to stay there and act like it's their home and not yours. It's crazy how Republicans have, my entire life, have been states' rights, not even knowing what they actually, like I said, they don't even know what it means. They thought it was just, state can do whatever it wants. That's not really what it means. But anyway, even if that's what you thought it meant, the government's not small. It's gigantic. Used to love small government. It's gigantic. Not only is it stealing our money, because where is this tariff money going? I haven't seen them tell us where this money goes. Is this money going to a Cayman Island somewhere? Because remember, that's what Donald Trump was trying to do with that money coming from Venezuelan oil being sold. Try to pull it to some other island, send it somewhere else and get a bank account that he can have. Not the American citizens have a good, not American bank. It's going to be his bank. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about sending it to another country? Who has access to it? Anything coming into our country is ruled by the purse. That's got to be Congress. How the fuck are you going to start an account for Venezuelan money? It didn't make any sense. And nobody's followed up on it. So I don't know what they're doing in that process. But big government is what they're doing. Republicans was all little government. Now the big government got their hands in everything. Donald Trump done made over $4 billion since he got in, selling America down the river to other people. Selling our shit to other people. Our farmers gave was it Argentina? Gave them $40 billion. While people were trying to get food and SNAP, they weren't giving them a damn thing. They gave another country $40 billion. $20 billion of our dollars, $20 billion of investors' dollars. Then gave them our beef people here were making hand over fist. Beef went up and all that like that. Then he let Argentina get into the beef game with America, pissing off the cattlemen. So they got pissed. It's like, wait a minute, we're finally doing well, and you're gonna let Argentina start getting into the game? What the fuck is that? Why is this Argentina American thing going? What are they doing for us in this situation? Why are we doing that? Now, I don't know all the details in their situation, but I do know this country is having problems with their farmers. Their cattle people were having a problem at first, but then it kind of blew up for them because of these tariffs. And you understand, when you put tariffs on something, and we already have a busting industry that benefits us, it works. Putting tariffs on like beef or whatever the hell it is, America's got thriving beef, so they started making a crap ton of money. Works for them. Doesn't work for us because we have to pay for their shit and we can't get the cheaper beef somewhere, and therefore prices go up. But it works for the American business. But it taxes the crap out of us. So we've had to go through that with this country, and 95% again of the tariffs are coming out of our pockets. They repealed, I believe, Canada's tariffs. I'm not fully aware of how long that enacts, or if it's just one group that's done it. I don't know if it's just the House that's done it and the Senate may not have done it. I'm not sure. But if that did go into play, I know it's the House that passed, I believe, because Mike Johnson was pissed about it. But if that goes into play, then house prices might go down because we were getting steel and wood from them and having to pay so much more for it. Therefore, houses were going up to even make, to build homes. If you're going to build one, have one built for yourself, it's going to be astronomical because you're paying all these tariffs on it. But I don't know what they're taking the tariffs off of when they do get this into play. For all we know, it might be just milk. And then it'd be like all the rest of the shit's still expensive. I don't know. We got to find out more about it. That was just announced today. At least for me to see. I saw it today. With Holman, they're not leaving, I don't believe. I trust it when I see it. I think they're gonna lay low and see if this is going to work. If they lay low, if people stop talking shit, and it's not in the news, and them starting behind the scenes to start doing it again but having these people do it under the radar. I hope not, but I got my sneaky suspicion. And this is one of those times that I'm not hoping. I pray I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong. All right. Oh, did you guys see? I'm gonna do two more things. Did you guys see Trump? I think I got this. Let me see if I got the video. Today was asked about, from some reporter asked him about, did you know that Lutnick was tied to Jeffrey Epstein? Something of that nature. And then he replies. And his reply, to me, makes Donald Trump more guilty. And I already think Donald Trump was a pedophile. There's no doubt in it for me. I mean, there's too much. If it was one allegation, I'd be like, you know what? That's 50-50. It could be, could not. Two allegations, to me, that's 75-25. You more than likely did it. 30? Man, you getting away with murder. That's the way I see it. But, hey, I'm not saying in court he would go to jail. I'm saying the court of public opinion, he's the OPIC. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say.
Were you aware that Secretary of Commerce visited Epstein's island, and do you continue to have to
No, I wasn't
watch
aware of it, no. I didn't, I actually haven't spoken to him about it, I wasn't. But from what I hear, he was there with his wife and children. And I guess in some cases, some people were. I wasn't. I was never there. Somebody will someday say that. I was never there.
Listen to that. Listen to his inflection. As soon as he says it was sons and kids, I wasn't. I was never there. The fuck was that? This man is guilty as fuck. Because again, think about it. He made it seem as though it was innocuous for him to be there with his wife and kids. He's just there with his wife and kids having a good time. No big deal. No big deal. I don't see a big deal. And then after making it seem like just being with the kids is no big deal, I was never there. He made it bad. He made it wrong. Because he automatically shifted to, I wouldn't have gone to that island. He did. I didn't. That right there tells you that there is a big difference in his mind that going to that island is a bad thing. You don't want to go to that island. But he knows he's been to that island. That's why he threw the little shift in there and said, somebody someday is going to say I did, but I didn't. Somebody's going to say it because in these documents, they're going to find it. And someday you will say it. I'll say it ahead of time because birds of a feather flock together. You can't tell me that if you weren't in Jeffrey Epstein's circle of these pedophiles and all stuff like that, how is it that in your cabinet there's so many people who were in his circle? I mean, not no regular circle, email circle. You don't get everybody's email, yo. This is what I want people to understand something. And they make it seem like this is the case. Not every millionaire and billionaire have each other's emails. For, let's say, Bill Gates to have Jeffrey Epstein's email, they may have did some work together, but they may have each other's number. But having each other's email documentation may have been shot over by an assistant. They may have done some work together. But consistently being around somebody that you know is a pedophile, once people in the world see it and you start to apologize, I should have never been, I'm sorry, my bad, I'm sorry. You know that you got in some dirt there. Especially Bill Gates. I mean, you got gonorrhea or some shit like that, and then you try to give your wife something, and they said there was an allegation. And if you see Bill Gates like, oh, it just wasn't true. Go look at his wife when she hears it. When the person says to her, about that getting a situation, and he said he was going to give you some kind of cocktail, whatever. to help you get over gonorrhea without you knowing that you got it or whatever disease it was, without you knowing you was going to get it. She looks hella pissed. She's sitting there. Either that or she got resting dead face. She's, you know what I'm saying? She was just, it looked shitty as hell. And she pulled one of those Ricky Ricardo, somebody got some explaining to do. I'm just saying they need to explain themselves. If it wasn't true, no, that never happened. But there's some crazy things that happened, but that didn't happen. That's a rumor. That didn't happen to me. That would have been somebody's response. Hers was deadpan. They got some explaining to do. Tells you. She divorced this man over some of this shit. She goes into conversation a little bit about this stuff. So Bill Gates has been caught. He did some whack off shit, and I don't know what he did. It doesn't with Epstein or whatever. But in these files, you got all these people, and again, you just don't have a person's number just because you're rich. It's not a thing. But this is how all these people around Trump have been to that island or connected with Jeffrey Epstein or invited Jeffrey Epstein to some kind of personal event. Did you guys hear? I believe it's Dr. Oz. Yeah. Dr. Oz invited Jeffrey Epstein in 2016. Remember, 2006? Around that time, 2006, 2008, he was convicted and did time for what they brought down to having sex with a child or a child prostitute. Whatever the fuck that is. But again, you know that this man was a sex trafficker, and there was a bigger case that got whittled down. You knew what this man did. It's out in the open. Dr. Oz invited Jeffrey Epstein to a Valentine's Day party. Who Jeffrey Epstein in love with? Dr. Oz got some explaining to do, bro. Again, it doesn't say that you did something with kids, but what it does say is you're willing to do business or invite somebody into your personal space that you know fucks kids. Why would we want to fuck with you if you're willing to bring some man that fucks kids into your home on a love day, the day of love, and you know what kind of love this man actually has for children? That to me is like, yo, your morals is all fucked up. I mean, I don't give, if you shoplifted, bitch, you ain't getting in my house. You feel me? If you a shoplifter, I'm like, yeah, man, every time we go somewhere, you taking something. Let's come over to your crib. Nah, next you ain't getting in my house. Not at all, not at all. Not at all. We can stand outside and grab a brew or something, but you ain't coming in the crib. And somehow, a pedophile, Howard Lutnick, would take his kids around that records everything. Remember, this man said, that's what I suggested did. They went to these, that's how he got his, that's what I think he did when he got his deal in 2016, is that he recorded these people in the massage room. Mm-hmm. And that's how he made his money, because he was an excellent briber. Like, he knew. Nobody's else said this. He was an excellent briber. That's how you think he made his, that's how he made his money. So you know how he's making his money, because everybody's trying to figure out how he makes his money. And we find out through these trials, and that trial, but this through their other trial, and also through these the files. But you had this feeling like you knew. You got your ass on television to spread what you thought you knew, just so you can push Epstein away from you. And when these files opened up, Epstein came back, kissed you right on the cheek. You know, sat there and talked about, well, we was on a boat, and we got on this boat, and we was out there having fun, and then invited me to his house, and then I went over to his house, and we got a meeting. I believe that the file said I went there like on May 5th for about an hour. Yeah, so we did it for an hour. No meeting lasts exact same time that it's actually meant to be. And here's the thing. You had a meeting with him. So why the hell you say you're on vacation on a boat when you already had a preset meeting with him. Boy, thank you for the donation there. I appreciate that. It has been far too long for Trump to get his. Yeah, exactly. It's like, you gotta just like break some of this shit down. You be like, dude, you had a meeting, you said, on May 5th with him on his island. So that means you had that meeting, and that meeting was set in April. So you just happened to be on vacation on a boat, and then you just went to his island. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What makes sense? You had a vacation with your family, possibly, if that's true at all, and you made it so that you can go visit him as you go on your vacation. Because otherwise, who makes that business decision on your vacation? You with the family. Y'all on vacay. Y'all on y'all little boat. He said his boat probably was a yacht. Y'all on y'all yacht having a good old time. And you're just like, hey, let's stop by the island of the pedophile. Oh, yeah, with the kids and everybody. Let's go on over there. Him and his wife both, when they walked away from his house, when they met him back in 2000, before 2006, 2 years before that, I guess, 2004, something like that, they met him. Thought he was creepy. Never want to see that guy again. Somehow you in business with him. When you said, I didn't do anything with business or philanthropy with him, I just know I didn't want to have any of that. And Lord knows, you had philanthropy and you were in business with him and you visited his island when you thought he was a creep and gross. And you knew him before. You moved in before he got charged with being a pedophile. He got charged with a pedophile and you lived next to him and he was in jail and coming back on the weekends. Then many years later, you trying to go to the pedophile's island with your children. That don't make sense to me, y'all. But hey, to each his own. You parent the way you parent. I find it gross. But Trump immediately backed his ass up out of it. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. I wouldn't do that. Not I. I wouldn't do it. It's not gonna happen. Not me. I didn't have anything to do with Epstein Island. Yeah, you did. You had more to do with Epstein Island. You're the one who wrote him the little girl in the breast and the vagina with your signature in it. That and talking about secrets and enigmas. You wrote that. That was you. You try to ignore it. I don't even draw. Next thing you know, you find a bunch of drawings of this man. This dude lies about everything. Lies about everything. Now, I'm going to leave y'all with something that I found to be fucking hilarious. Just hilarious. It's like the Three Stooges type shit. And then you probably heard it already, but today it got to me. It had me rolling. So, I don't know if you heard about this thing that happened. I believe it was in Texas. El Paso, their airspace. They had to shut down the airport for 10 days. It was supposed to be, right? And we learned about this yesterday during the hearing of Pam Bondi. She got a tweet of some sort, and see if I have it on me. I don't know if I'll put it up or not, but she got a tweet of some sort of Secretary Sean Duffy. Now, this person put up this tweet. Let's see if I can find it. But he put up this tweet. I'll just read it to you instead of doing it. But he put up this tweet, Sean Duffy, and she read it. She didn't read the tweet. She just kind of like wanted to give this information while I was there. You'll remember it probably. She said, well, the FAA or the Department of War, stuff like that, we just shot down, some drones from the drug cartel, Mexican drug cartel. We shot down drones. These are the things that we should be talking about. She introduced that yesterday, just like them, introducing shit without validating it, just running roughshod. Look what we're doing, and we're so great and wonderful, and you guys are asking me these questions about these pedophile survivors behind me. Look what we're doing, what we should be talking about. Stocks are at $50,000. She said that shit, $50,000. Not points, but dollars. This heifer had no idea how stocks work. I don't get it, but hey, Anyway, so Sean Duffy had put up, she had read this, and that's why she said it. The FAA and the DOW, Department of War now, DOW, acted swiftly. This is how these people, they constantly give themselves credit for shit. They acted swiftly to address a cartel drone incursion. The threat has been neutralized, and there is no danger to commercial travel in the region. The restrictions have been lifted, and normal flights are resuming. So that was Sean Duffy, the guy who was a reality TV show host back in the day, The Real World or some craziness. That guy, reality guy, giving themselves a pat on the back for saving the world. These merit people, these people who just have such great merit. Okay. So, in so doing that, he bragged about what they had done. She bragged about, this is what we should be talking about. Fox News puts out a article saying, border on the brink as cartel drones force U.S. to act after years of paralysis. So they had to, and that was by Chuck DeVore at Fox News. He had to throw a dig at paralysis, like other presidents were paralyzed to do something. And because the border's on the brink, our president, Trump, did his best, better than any other president. Wednesday's El Paso action is welcome and long overdue. Another step in last summer's call by President Trump for military action against the cartels. These people are blowing smoke up their own asses. And wow, look how great we are. Okay. I'm sitting there like, okay, so she said that on television that we shot some cartel drones, drug cartel drones out the sky, and we should be talking about that. And we're so proud of Donald Trump, bragging about that. Sean Duffy went out and said the same thing, like you can use the airspace again in El Paso, Texas, because you got saved by the best of the best. These white dudes with merit. That's what you got it. All right. And then after that, Fox News had to come in. They all played their own role in it, right? Fox News gets it, and finally somebody with balls. You got a President Donald Trump, nobody else. We're doing such great work. They shut down an airspace, an airport, for 10 days. People came to fly to locations, shit like they couldn't go. So they're wondering, like, why the hell we can't fly out? They were notified that they couldn't fly out 30 minutes to an hour. Pilots was trying to come in. They were like, we closed what? The airport is closed. Well, for how long? 10 days. What? What's going on? We just found out about it 30 minutes to an hour ago. So you're shut down. Where are they supposed to fly into? They got to find where to fly into while they're in midair. It's like, what the fuck? Okay. He kind of chuckles. Okay. Right? Closed down. Drug cartel. Do you know what really happened? They loaned, being Pete Hegseth's dumbass, loaned a laser piece of equipment to the immigration people. And they were playing with it, shooting up in the sky where regular fucking planes fly. Lasers. Now, you done seen stupid ass kids on social media. You put a laser up to a helicopter, you could kill them if they see that. They would literally crash. It can mess with a lot of different things in the plane, but mostly you're worried about their sight. It could blind them. They could die. You can go to jail if they find that you pointed it and where you live at. Laser. These dipshits pointed a military-grade laser into the sky thinking they were playing with some drones and shit. These bitches were shooting at party balloons. Party balloons. You know the balloons that float at a party and oops. It's a girl. helium balloon flying up in here. It's a girl. Oh shit, we couldn't get it. We just let it fly. They were shooting at fucking balloons and calling it drug cartel drones. This is what they call merit. I laughed so hard. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? And it was the New York Times that broke this. They were out there bragging about them being so great at their job. Secretary Sean Duffy, you're a dipshit. Pete Hegseth, you're a super dipshit. Pam Bonding, you're a dipshit times 12. And this reporter from Fox, you a sycophant dick shit. Not a dipshit, a dick shit. Chuck DeVore. You guys literally blew this shit the fuck up into something just so that you can pat yourself on the back for doing your fucking job. And it turns out it was the immigration not telling the FAA that they were going to use this particular weapon and toy with it. First of all, Pete Hegseth, why are they using laser? Why are you loaning out our military-grade laser shit to immigrants? The fuck are they doing with these things? Are they even authorized to use it? That's one. Probably not. And then for them to not know that they're shooting over an airspace, dipshit act number 2. For them to not notify FAA that they're shooting over their airspace, dipshit act number 3. There is no merit, not even an inkling, not even a nut hair inkling of merit in any one of these people I fucking mentioned. We all can make mistakes, but these dumbasses made gigantic, ginormous fuck-ups and patted themselves on the back. Didn't investigate to see what the fuck they had done. Oh shit, we fucked up. Oh shit, none of that. Brag that they are like the number one at what we're doing. We're saving America. You are number one dumbasses. Ladies and gentlemen, that's who's running our country and protecting us. They couldn't tell the difference between a balloon, party balloon, and a drone. And how did you come up with drug cartel drone from a balloon that's made out of foil and shit and says happy birthday on it or some shit? How'd you mix that up? And then how would you allow it to continue to go out to news that way? You had to have figured out it was a fuck up because the person actually did it. When that person did that, pew, yeah, pew, and then everything shut down, they had to have known, oh shit. Now, how did that get to the news as a made up hero story before you found out it was a dipshit that you loaned a weapon to? I don't know. I'm done. I am done with these people. From party balloons, KB. When I found that out, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I had to go look that up in 3 different articles and a video before I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Is this a joke? Is somebody pranking me? This is crazy. And I don't know why that is not like majorly like, denounced. It's like, these people are idiots. What the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? Even though I did see that one news on MSNBC, a clip, I think it was All In or Chris Hayes or something like that. I saw a little clip of it. That's the only person that I saw throughout the day as I'm clipping through stuff that literally even mentioned on television. I had to go look at articles to kind of validate what was going on. And there were different versions of it, but they were earlier stories. They found out later. I was like, man. Rude, it is kind of harder and harder to find the facts, but keep digging, baby. I tell you, it works. How many screws up set is this from Hegseth? It's so many from Hegseth. I mean, he started out. What was that? That at Appgate, and then I forget shit was called. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, he started out with that, giving out military shit to a reporter, and even though he didn't do it, he knew who was in the room. I mean, you just count, like, oh, Tom, you're here? Here. Becky, here? Here. Peter, who the fuck is Peter? Don't know. Peter gone. That's all it took is a roll call. No roll call. Just pure idiocy. And they're supposed to be protecting us. It's terrible. Clowns and balloons are a part of the circus. Love it, Dennis. You're right. But yeah, I came on late, so I don't want to keep you guys too late. I know y'all go to bed. I do this a late show. I appreciate y'all. It's crazy, and every day, I just long for an intellectual to be in office. I want somebody smarter than me. I want somebody that I can look at and say they got the wheel, and I feel safe. I'm not going to be on cruise control, but I got my eye on you. I ain't falling asleep, but I feel safe. And we don't have that. We just don't. And we need people to tell the truth. And that's something that'd be refreshing, to have somebody tell the truth. It's just, I don't know. When people get into politics, they get into it because they love politics and they love that game of politics. You know what I mean? The back and forth, the understanding, the manipulation aspect of it. They enjoy that shit. And I'm not into that. I'm not into that manipulation and being happy about how you got somebody to vote for you by either lying or tricking them and shit and paying the marketing and asking them for $5 every. It just irks me, because I'm like, focus on what you can really accomplish. And then write out plans and strategies on how to do it. So what if your strategy, your plan doesn't come to fruition? Do more for me. I'm like this. If you running for office, create 3, 4 huge plans, maybe 2 or 3 huge plans that you want to get done. And get those bitches done in detail. If you don't get them passed, and if they start to revise it, I'm good. But I'm tired of bullet point presidents. I'm tired of y'all. These bullet points are pieces of shit. Leave the bullet points for the dipshits that just want to vote because of their feelings. But you need to write 3 to 4 plans in detail, how they're going to help the American people, how they're going to change the economy, how they're going to help with getting us health care, and write those up and give us people who want our country to be better the details so we can read it and hold you accountable. Why isn't this bill 77518.3 going into Congress right now, going into the House? So we can hold you accountable. Instead of you guys saying, we're going to do it, and we don't hear nothing else about it. Let us know that the Republicans killed it, that it needs to be revised, and get your people on revising it and getting it back to the people. Go on tour again and tell us this didn't work, so we're trying this right here. I mean, come on, be inclusive with the people, because I'm getting tired of that old shit. The old way of doing things got to go. We're sick of it. The bullet point presidents, write out full plans for us. Write out how A, B, C, and D works. And if A, B, and C don't work, give us an A1, a B2. Like, what's the backup plan? Because I'm just sick. Truthfully, I'm sick of these bullet point presidents. You don't offer too much. Don't be offering 1,700 things. You ain't going to get all those done. Think about what Americans want. Go ask us. And for what the majority wants, start working on those. We need health care reform. We need tax reform, right? We need that the immigration thing to be fixed, and not these. You guys keep playing, and then both parties, y'all keep using the immigration as a fucking tool to get us to vote for you. And it's like, dude, just get it fucking done. It's not that hard that you can't come up with solutions. It really isn't. You can come up with solutions. You guys are trying to abide by the billionaire, abide by this and the third. It's like, look, how does it make us safe? A, B, and C. Point blank. Stop with all the craziness. Those things are what we kind of like all deal with. Work on them. Write it. And then you guys can debate it for the American people and make it pass law so that we can deal with the main issues. But I am of the camp that this country doesn't want to solve its problems because that's what you guys use as a tool to get us to vote for you. The problems. If we had solved these problems or working towards solving them, you have nothing to divide us with to get us to vote for you. So to me, it seems like a tool that all parties use to get us to move forward. And instead, you should be focusing on the things we care about and keep moving us a step further each time toward that goal. Both parties. And stop going back and revising shit. Codify some of this shit so that we stay with it for the next 10, 20, 15 years, whatever it is, so that we can get it to work. I get tired of Democrats doing something and then a Republican come in and repeal it. I'm like, look, we did it because we want to move forward. It may not work in 4 years. It might take it 15 to work. Let it go through 15 years so that we can get this shit to work for us because we agree on health care. When you see a problem in it, fix that one problem. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak. If you're my age, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Don't throw out the whole plan because one part doesn't work. Don't throw out the whole plan because one party hates the fact that people who are poor are getting opportunities and they want to buy a yacht with the money that they're giving you an opportunity because they don't give a fuck about humanity. We got to look out for the people and stop allowing these politicians to tell us what we want. They're there to work for us. And if you don't have a good heart, I don't know what that's all about. That's on you. But the majority of people, we want things to work out for us. And I believe there's a way to do it. It's not what we're doing now. Of course not. Just saying. Thanks again for the donation. I appreciate it. I'll get your message, Spencer Elliott. I'll get it. I don't know if I got it right now. Oh, yeah. Prayers lifted up to you, my brother. Always. Thank you. I'm so happy for you. I really am. What I do? So, just saying, you got to do better than this. Hold your people accountable that represent you, and focus on what it is that you need in your community. And there should be no reason why, again, you got 5 things that need to be done in your community. Put up 2 for your representative to see if they can work on it and work little by little in getting those things done. Everybody wanting the sky and the sun, the star and the moons, it's not going to happen. Little by little, we'll make it a better place than it was the week before, month before, the year before. But going backwards is not a goal at all. And us getting ahead like we did, we had health care, and then they just took it away from millions. That don't make any sense. We should be figuring out ways to add additional millions and realize where the kinks are. But we're allowing these people to destroy what's better for us because they want to give billionaires tax cuts. That's not we the people. That's that rich me the people shit. Just saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. Much love to y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, we're going to do our best to put out positive messages, but tell the truth, facts. And if anything we don't know and we come across, we would try and research it. Because like Janet said, it's harder in certain situations to find some of these facts. But if you haven't looked it up, I mean, I know some people can't stomach it, but continue looking through the Epstein files because we have to be the backbone, and they're doing their own thing. They're the survivors, but we got to be there supporting not only them, but the ones who are going through it right this second and the ones in the future that are going to go through it if we don't tear down this entire sex trafficking, slave trafficking thing in our country. If we don't stop that, if we don't put our mind on that and continue to talk about it every day, they're waiting for us to stop talking about it. They're waiting for that news cycle to disappear so they can get back to their work behind the scenes. And these people who need our help feel more and more helpless when we stop talking about it. If they see it in the news every day, they know we're out there trying to find them. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, much love to y'all. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. As always, I'll see you when I see you.